a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk on life. Our guest will share his life story. We want you to success in life. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk on life. We're gonna talk on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are gonna witness. Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast.
I think that my word of advice for somebody starting isn't to ask the question, what business do I start that's going to get me X? It is, who do I want to be in this world? And now how can I reverse engineer a business that will force me to become that in the process of creating it?
I want to invite you into the Business Network, my free school community for entrepreneurs and business owners who want to grow their network and scale their business. Inside, you'll get step-by-step lessons, monthly workshops, feedback, scripts, resources, bonuses, and a community of like-minded people who believe in helping each other win. Join us today at school.com, the Business Network, or click the link in the description and click Join Group. I'll see you inside.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with the Servant's Heart podcast. I have to laugh. I say that all the time, but I know there's new people coming on. They may not know me. I'm Steve Ramona, the host. But I just thought, I say that every time, but I just realized in my own head, my operations, my structure, which we're going to talk about, was telling me to say that. But what we're going to do is start with some gratitude for today, because my guest is going to throw so much gratitude at you guys to really help you grow or learn or be better. I want to start with this great positivity. So I believe in your immense potential to achieve absolutely anything. And it's funny, I pull these cards out and they really connect with my guest, because that's what she does with operations and structure. And that could be in your life too. She works with top end companies, but you're going to learn something today. I know I am. I've got my pen ready, my little Apple pen, to take some notes. So with that being said, let's bring our guest on. Jhana, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve. I'm really excited to be here. That was the perfect way to start.
You know, I got to ask you, I've learned a little bit about you, 10, 15 minutes, but you got a big heart. I know this is going to be an easy question for you. What's the biggest impact you made so far in your life as of today?
God, I don't know if that's an easy question. You know, I loved the gratitude card that you pulled, because I see my work in the world and the impact that I have as unlocking human potential, right? And the way that I happen to do that is with operations, or that's how my company does it. But I would say that the biggest impact I've had in the world is in the people that I have served to help unlock their highest potential and what they went on to create or build from that potential. That is how I am able to make the world a better place. And that is what I am most proud of.
I love what you just said, because potential, and audience, think about this. Potential could be you're going to make $50,000 a year or $500 million a year. That potential is your, I don't want to say limitation, that's the wrong word, is your goal, is your guide to what you want to do. I know there's people out there making $150,000 a year. That's their potential, and maybe they're better other places. But I love that you said that.
Yeah. And I think money is one way to measure potential. And I think in the world of business and entrepreneurship, it's a great universal language. But some of the clients that I am most proud of having gotten to work with are, you know, the solopreneur mom who really just wanted to spend more time with her kids and got to be the version of a mom that she wanted to be for her family, or a company that we're working with that wants to bring Mexican culture and heritage to the United States and is able to do that in a much bigger way because of the work that we've done with her, right? So to me, potential, we get to choose as the entrepreneur, what does success mean to us? Money is one metric that we can put on that board, but My passion is about helping entrepreneurs identify holistically, what does success actually look like for you? What kind of human being do you want to be? And how can we operationalize a version of your business that will serve as a vehicle to your becoming and creating a version of your life that you actually want to live inside of, not just the biggest dollar amount that we can make happen inside of your business, although that is important as well.
So many golden nuggets. What you want to be, audience. Did you hear she say that? She's not telling you you're going to be $100 million company or a multi-billionaire. What you want to be, that's the beauty, that's the freedom we have here in the United States. Let's talk about operations. Now, Marcus Lemonis, I believe he owns the RV place. He had a show called The Profit. He talked about the 3 Ps: people, profit, process / operations. How can you have a company have that servant's heart in operations? Because operations is one of those big pillars that needs to go well.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a great way to answer the question. You talked about the 3 Ps. I think most operators or most people think of operations as build the process first, then plug people in, and profit will follow. I reverse that. I like to put people first. I believe that if we have the right people in the right roles, and we have done our work as leaders to truly set them up for success and do their best work in the organization, those people will then create the processes required for them to be successful, and that will then generate the profit. And so many people, I think, they think about these processes as this like really rigid, strict, overbearing structure that is all this red tape and slows the business down. And now everybody has to do things a particular way. And that is the opposite to me. That's bad operations. That's the opposite of what operations is actually there to do in a business, which is to unlock human potential, allow your people to bring their best innovation, their best problem solving, their best creativity to the table. How do we create dynamic structures that actually allow human beings to thrive within an organization? And if we do that, the processes will take care of themselves. The profit will take care of itself.
Jhana, you're brilliant, and thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to say why, audience, I want you to think about this. This, because you work with the high-end companies, which is fine, but this is across the board from an entrepreneur to a small business. I know people listening, I'm going to ask the question because I'm thinking too, how do I take that people and be part of the process where it's good?
Yeah. And to be clear, Steve, right, we work with 7, 8, multi-8-figure founders, right? So we're not working with giant enterprise level companies. And I think that the potential to unlock human potential as a resource inside your business is actually bigger than ever for a startup. Like if you only have 5 people on your team, what each person contributes is 20% of what is possible inside of your business. The impact of each individual on your team when you have a small team is actually proportionally much bigger than when you work at an enormous organization. And so that emphasis of people first, it's easier, it's faster, and it's more powerful for the startup founder than I think it is even for the large organization.
And I would think that you teach people first as CEOs, founders, high-level people in the company. When they're talking about anything in the business, the first cut, how's it taking care of the people? And that crosses the bridge of customer and employee, right?
Yeah,
when you say people. Talk about that and how those conversations should go, or maybe give us an example of a company the founder went, hey, we can't do that. That's not people-oriented or not people, generated is the word.
Yeah, interesting question. So the way that I describe this to clients is I think of human potential as a resource, right? It's a resource in your business, like time is a resource, like money is a resource. Your people, yourself included, have all of this potential. This is our work ethic. This is the energy that we have to contribute. This is our innovation and creativity. This is our innate problem solving skills. We have all this potential that we hold. Your people have this potential, but most founders are treating this potential like a pile of gold sitting under the mattress. They're not utilizing it. Are your people being invited? Are they being asked to bring that potential and put it to work for you and put it to work for your vision? Not even because you're forcing them to, you're paying them to, you're asking them to, you're inviting them to. Are we creating an environment where they want to give you their all, where they want to bring their best ideas to the table, where they want to stay up late solving problems because they're excited and they're challenged by the problem in front of them? We decide that as leaders, right? Our people have the potential. It's there. It's a resource. The question is, in our leadership and in how we create our business, are we maximizing that resource? Because the reality is, from a strict operations perspective, the resource is free. Your people have it. You don't have to pay them anymore for them to bring it to the table. You really don't. The question is are we maximizing and utilizing the resource as it's available? Or are we putting all of the pressure on ourselves to be the only person that has good idea, the only people that can solve problems, the only people who are driving things forward? Do we live in a belief system where like, it has to be me, I have to be the one that does this? Or can we evolve our understanding of what it means to be an entrepreneur and leader, which is the growth curve that I help many of our clients go through, which is your job isn't to solve everything yourself anymore. Your job is to build an ecosystem where problems get solved, where ideas are had, where debates and discussions are had. That becomes what is truly scalable, because now we can scale problem solving and idea generation beyond ourselves.
Get my mind spinning. You're so wonderful, because growth is so powerful. Because again, it's like what we talked about before, potential. Growth could be, if a company wants to go from 1 to 1.5 million that year, that's growth. Or they're at 2 million, they stay there good, but the growth altitude is your people / employees. You help with that. My wife works at Trader Joe's, and I got to tell you, I get the inside. Talk about exactly what you're saying.
I bet.
There's people working there 30 years. Guy's 78 years old or 70 years old. He's been there 30 years at a retail grocery store.
It's incredible.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
Let's dive into culture, because that is the brother of operations to me.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I like to measure culture as what happens when you, the founder, are not in the room, right? How are people making decisions when you're not there to make it for them or with them? How do people prioritize what is most important to the organization? And culture is such a powerful mechanism to push decision-making downwards, right? I, as a founder, I'm not going to trust the decisions that my team makes if I don't trust that those decisions would be in alignment with how I would make them, right? That makes perfect sense. Like, I'm not going to trust you to make a decision if I don't believe that that decision is going to move us in the same direction as where I'm trying to go. And so culture is one of those really important mechanisms that we can install to create alignment, so that I can trust that everyone's rowing in the same direction because we're rowing under the same set of core values. And I can trust you to make a decision without having to run it by me, because I know it's in alignment with that culture and with those core values and with those priorities in mind. And so it becomes again, like I always put things in terms of resource management. If I, as a founder, have limited time, how much of that time am I spending making decisions on behalf of my team because I don't trust them to make the decisions without me? What is the ROI on culture? It quite literally frees up hours of decision making from my plate, so that now I can reallocate that time into higher leverage, higher impact work. And my team is now empowered to take the decisions and run with them that ultimately belong to them. And actually, they're the best person to make that decision. And I just needed to give them the cultural context in which to make that decision.
And they can spend more time with their family. That's the thing we talked about before the show. You free time for those founders, which a lot of them are struggling right now because of fear of everything that's going on. And Gary Vaynerchuk has a great phrase I saw a few months ago. Why are you putting on 45-minute meetings? Usually 10, 15 minutes. Because that's part of your structure is, hey, when they're falling asleep, 20 minutes in or not paying attention. That's part of this that you probably do to help with structure. That's part of the operations, how you do in your meetings. And that little change could really make a difference, couldn't it?
All of these things make there's something called the aggregation of marginal gains. This is really, really nerdy, but essentially it means that if you make marginal change, if you make a 1% improvement over here and a 1% improvement over here, but they're a part of the same system, the net gain of those changes is greater than 2%. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2. It's like 1 + 1 equals 1.5 or equals 3.55, right? When we stack improvement across a system, those improvements compound upon each other. And so the way that I think of operations inside an organization is, how are we making marginal gains across the entirety of the system? And the result is 10% increase in profit. We doubled our revenue 3 years in a row, right? Like, you create these massive macro outcomes that come from 100 micro optimizations. But the reality, Steve, is that that is not a visionary's job. And this is really important that your audience hear this, right? It is not a visionary's job to find and make the 1% improvement. Your job is to have the vision, have that 3x revenue target, some of the visions that you're holding right now, Steve, are incredible, like will change the world level visions. you don't have the bandwidth to hold a vision that big and then also make the 5% improvement in how we take our sales process, right? The role of the operator is to find and close the gaps and to find the marginal gains and to find the optimizations so that you can hold the vision and they can actualize on that vision for you.
Boy, you sound like my business partner. Love him to death. And we
Is
talk
he your
about
operator?
He's the visionary. I mean, we talk
Oh,
about
he's the visionary.
We're he's like, let them run with this.
Yeah.
Their job is that they're going to do this job, and we let them run with it. And they're
Let 'em
asking
run.
me, well, how much do we spend? Well, you got $1,000 limit. Don't need to come to me
Right.
because I don't want to know. He doesn't want to know. Just get the job done. Here's your resources. Audience, I hope you're listening to this because this is for an entrepreneur as well who doesn't have a team. But you know what? You get an accountant. You get an AI guy. You get a marketing person. Those are your team, even though they're fractional, which is the big part of this. It's funny, Jhana. This is really funny. You so lack in passion. I don't know where you're going to get more passion. It's amazing. Audience, I'm kidding because she's so passionate. And these are the type of coaches you want to definitely have because you're going to grow with that. What's the piece of advice you'd give to a lot of entrepreneurs listen to this, or moms, stay-at-home moms who want to start a business? What's a piece of advice you'd give them to do that?
Just to start a business.
Yeah.
So the way that I perceive business, and this isn't an option, but it's just what I choose. I choose to see business as a vehicle of our own becoming. It is not what's the version of the business that's going to make the most amount of money, and then who do I need to become in order to create that? I like to flip that. Who is the version of myself that I want to become? And is business the right vehicle to help me become that? Business will stretch you. Business will push you. Business is the world's most relentless mirror that you have to look at every single day. And it is telling you in dollars and cents where you need to grow next and why you are not where you want to be yet. That is brutal. That is relentless. And it is not the personal development tool that I would recommend for everyone. And so I think that we have to be really discerning before we make the decision to start a business, right? We start a business for freedom, we start a business for money, and we start a business for autonomy. But really, all of those are second order consequences. You start a business because it is what will be the forcing function that allows you to become the version of yourself that you want to become. And the version of yourself that you want to become will make all the money and have all the freedom and have all the autonomy, right? And so I think that my word of advice for somebody starting isn't to ask the question, what business do I start that's going to get me X? It is, who do I want to be in this world? And now how can I reverse engineer a business that will force me to become that in the process of creating it?
We'll add a fourth P, purpose.
Purpose. Yeah.
People, profit, process, purpose. Yeah, I've asked that question many times. Speak good English here, Steve. Many times. and that is powerful because I think people, they'll see me and say, you're an entrepreneur. I want to be just like you. Yeah. What's your purpose? Well, I'm just going to start something and make some. Now, a side gig is different. If you're making side to pay bills, that's not what we're talking about. If you're going to jump into entrepreneurship or business ownership, 100% or don't do it. Right? You agree with that?
Yeah, because it's going to be so hard. Like, it's going to suck. There are so many easier ways to make money. Like, if you're really going for money right now, oh my God, there are easier ways to make money. It has to be for something larger than that. Otherwise, it literally is just too hard. And I just wouldn't advise that be the race that you choose to run for an outcome like money. It's just not the most effective way to get there.
Yeah, and if you're 8 to 5 and you're happy and you've got a great culture, they're taking care of you, you're going to get incremental. Don't just start a business because everybody else is doing it. Don't follow 100%. That's not what it's about. And I know it's easier now, but it's so well said. It's awesome. So this is doing business with a servant's heart. Tied to that, of course, is leadership. What is your definition of servant leadership?
I believe that our core function, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but like our core function as a leader is to unlock the potential of our team. I should say that's the function of a manager. A leader's vision is to set and rally a team around a vision. That's what a leader does, right? This is where we are going. These are the outcomes. This is what success looks like. And here's why it matters. And here's why we should all commit ourselves to getting there. That's leadership. Management is then, how do I unlock the highest version of you in pursuit of that goal? And how do I create a version of this team where all of us, again, where this business isn't just a vehicle for my growth and my success. This business is a vehicle for your growth and your goals. As a member of my team, what do you care about? What do you want? Oh, you want to move out of your parents' house and buy a car? Okay, well, how does unlocking your highest performance in this role serve as your vehicle for you to go do that, right? That's incredible management, because we are now aligning everybody's purpose in alignment with the higher and greater purpose that is what is set for the business.
I love how you differentiated managers to founders and visionaries. Different positions, but you're all leaders. You're listening, you're a manager, you're a leader. It's just a different way, which is fine.
Yeah.
You're going to serve differently than, Jhana, the visionary for her company. That's okay. That is fine. And again, I think people look at the world. You said earlier, it's easy to start a business. Doesn't mean you should. We want you happy.
100%.
You want to be fun.
Is it going to unlock your best? Yeah.
Are you having fun with your business?
I have a blast with my business. I really do. I love it. Like, I'm so obsessed with it.
And that's the hesitation, because I'll ask people, and you probably had, and there's a hesitation. Well, I do, but then the but is what cuts that off.
I mean, and that's when those people come to me, right? So much of our work is helping somebody fall back in love with their business. Because what happens, Steve, is we have some skill set, or we have a purpose. There's something that we want to make happen. And we start a company around it. And we, over time, as we find success and as we grow and we scale, we spend more and more of our time doing less and less of the thing that we love, the thing that made us start the business to begin with. And that is not a failure of business. That's a lack of operations, right? If you had the right systems and the right team and an operator who was running all of your day-to-day admin and was handling the team conversations or client conversations that you don't want to have, and was protecting your potential as a founder, because when you get to live in your zone of genius, you're doing the work that lights you up. You're doing the work that drives the most amount of impact and growth into the business, and you've operationalized everything else off your plate. What do you mean you don't love your business? That's so fun. That's such a fun role to get to sit in within your own company. But as a founder, we make the mistake that our job becomes doing everything that the business needs from us. And that is, it's a failure of operations. It's simply not true. We just currently like the system or the team or the process that would achieve that outcome and make sure that that thing happened without me. But that's not because it's my job to show up and do everything. It's my job to create the systems and structures where everything gets done so that I can live in my highest leverage, highest zone of genius work.
I love this, because especially for entrepreneurs, the badge of honor is I wear 14 hats.
Exactly.
Well, that's a badge of dishonor.
100%.
That's pretty good, because
it's a badge of dishonor.
it really is. And entrepreneurs, listen, what she's saying is, if you're starting a business and you're a business coach and you're a solopreneur, I said earlier, find people to help you. Yeah, you're going to spend a little money on that, but do you want to spend time on marketing? You want to spend time on coaching those people like Jhana does to help them grow and be successful, because guess what? Referrals come. That's part of your marketing. But again, it's back to your purpose. Your purpose is to go and do social media ads. You didn't start this business. It's got to happen, or whatever you do, but it doesn't mean it has to be you. Wow, what a podcast. Let's end with an even more fun question. I want to get to know you a little deeper.
Great.
So I'm going to come out where you live. You're going to pick your favorite restaurant.
Ooh.
Or one of them. I'm sure you have multiples. I want you to do two things. One, I want you to invite 3 people, whether dead or alive, who've been most impactful in your life.
Okay.
And number 2, I'm a foodie, love food. I want you to order food for the table. So tell me your favorite foods.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Give me a second.
Sure.
So the 3 people that I would want to invite, I would want to invite my favorite leadership author on leadership, which is Liz Wiseman. I would want to invite, oh my gosh, I'm really on the spot here. I'd probably want to invite Michelle Obama, because who doesn't? And I would want to invite, Hmm. I'm going to go with people who are alive. I would want to invite Simon Sinek. Uh, yeah.
Mr. Y. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I would order for us, I would probably ask the waiter to surprise us.
I like that.
Yep.
We are so aligned in many ways. We always ask the waiters, what's your favorite foods?
Like,
Because
I'm
they're there
not
all
the
the time.
expert. This is what I'm saying, Steve. Like, right back to our whole conversation here. In what world am I the best person to pick the right thing off your menu? That makes no sense. Like, here's my constraints. Here's my dietary restrictions. Here's what I love. Here's what mood I'm in right now. You're the expert. You know the menu. You do this all the time. You know what people like. Take me on an adventure, right? And that's how I lead my team. I'm not the expert in anybody's role. In what world would I tell you how to do your job? Because you are so much better at it than I am. My job is to set the constraints and the context. Here's the vision. Here's the core values. Here's the culture. Here's what success looks like inside of your role. But you're the expert. You tell me how we're going to get there. And when we get to shift the pressure that we put on ourselves to have all the answers and to make every decision and to solve every problem, in what world am I the best person to do that? Like, that just makes no sense to me. When my whole job is to just build a team of experts around me that can guide me there and get me there in alignment with the vision that I set and in the constraints and the context that I set that is in alignment with me. So yeah, that's how I would order dinner.
Oh my God, we're so alike. But you just unlocked something. And if you're a restaurant worker or own a restaurant right now and you heard that, you better change your culture right away. That waiter walks up and goes, can I help you with your order? What are your favorite foods? If you do that as a waiter, I think 99% of the people talk about servant's heart, serving you ahead of time before they can even ask.
And how many waiters would love that? Because now my job as a waiter is to take the guest on an adventure of my design. Now being a waiter is like a creative act. Now it's an act of service and human connection, right? We're talking about unlocking human potential. What waiter do you think is going to show up and do a better job, work harder, put in more care, take better care of their customers? The one who thinks that their job is to just take orders and make sure orders get delivered to tables, or the one who believes that their job is to create a human experience that they get to create in a unique way every single time? Same waiter, same exact level of human potential. But in how we set the standard and how we built that restaurant, now one waiter is having a profoundly different experience and bringing a profoundly different version of themselves to the act.
Well, we just co-wrote a book for restaurants.
I think we did.
So we need to talk later. Audience, look for that book. I'm kind of half serious because here's the other thing we'll add, and I know we'll come at the end, but what restaurant is a perfect example. If they came and took our order, that's okay. That's your job. But you want to be unique and different and better and make more money on the side? Be different. Be this way. Oh, so wonderful. Jhana, you've lit my world up today.
Oh, this has been a delight, Steve. Thank you.
It's been so wonderful. Thank you for taking the time. I know there's people who want to reach out to you. How can they find you?
Yeah. So guys, the name of my company is Spyglass Ops. And if you need any support on the operational side of things, finding an operator, scaling your business, come talk to us, spyglassops.com. If you just want, if this was helpful and you want more of my insights and more just free content and free coaching, at the Jhana Li on social media, on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube is where you can find all of my free stuff. And I put stuff out every single week.
Audience, join me because I'm going to check her out. But she's so inspired me. You didn't know I'm doing this. So audience, I hope you stayed to the end because I'm going to reward you. The first 5 people that reach out to Jhana and mention the podcast, I'm going to send you a gift.
Ooh. Guys, do it right now. Do it right now. It's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It already happened.
Dude, look at that. She's what a great operations girl. So let's do that because I know when they talk to you,
that means a ton.
You're so welcome because I want to help you support everything that you do. And audience, share this out. You know, founders, you know, startups, you know, entrepreneurs. This 20 minutes could be life-changing for people in their business. That little tweak we did for a restaurant or some of the things about growth. Just doing one of those 1%. And it's funny you mentioned about 1%. I tell people all the time, you get better 1% every day, you're 360% better or 350% better at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If you do it once a month, 1% a month, You're up 12% in the year. Are you going to make more money? Which is the bottom line. Are you going to grow? You all know the answers to that. So with that being said, me and Jhana will thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast, and we'll see you
Thanks,
all
guys.
on the next episode, Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. She's even
Bye,
saying goodbye with a
everyone.
wonderful heart. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.